Hello friends, welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today I'll be showing you how I went about designing my own stickers using Canva. I'll show how I put together a sticker sheet using free clip art, as well as how I modify the graphics to make it fit perfectly within a theme. So, if that sounds good, let's jump in. Okay, so the first step that we want to do is to set the page size. So up here underneath the Create a Design, there is a setting to do a custom size. Now here you can set it to be whatever you want in pixels, inches, millimeters, or centimeters. And I already have one preset out for 8.5 by 11 inch or letter size paper. I'm just going to pre-select that and drop that in. And that will be our starting point for our sticker setup. And I chose this because I have label sheets that are letter size, but if you have a different size, set it up according to the actual size of the sheet you're going to be printing on. So in Canva, they have a bunch of different elements that you can choose from as far as templates or images, graphics, things of that nature, and use that to set up your designs for your stickers. The templates that they have are a great way to figure out what you might be looking for as far as a theme and what graphics already exist in the Canva library that you may be able to pull from. So if you're not sure of what you're looking for, put in a search term and start there. Usually what I will do is start off by clicking on the Elements tab and then typing in what I'm looking for. For the most part, the graphics area is where I will start off, finding different styles of clip art, shapes and images, sometimes text, and use that as my basis. So a few things to keep in mind if you're new to Canva: not all of these images are free. The ones with a small crown next to them, or sometimes the pro notation, are part of the paid service. I have a free account with Canva. I actually don't pay for the upgraded account. So everything that I'm going to show you here today is something that you can access right away without a Canva account. And I am just looking for free elements right now that fit the theme I'll be looking for, which is Independence Day, those types of styles, and pulling in the graphics that catch my eye. I see that there's a good supply of different items here in a very similar theme. And as you can see, Canva even recommends other options in those same styles under their magic recommendations area. So it makes it really easy to find matching graphics with similar styling and colors and that sort of thing. But colors most of the time can be manipulated here on the clip art, which I'll show you in a bit. So you don't have to worry too much about that, but you definitely want to keep in mind the style that you're trying to collect here on your sticker sheet if you want it to all be matching in one theme. And as you can see, I have pulled in these glasses with the stars here that I think would be a really good element to add in. However, it's not quite what I want. I thought that the glasses looked a little bit funky, but I really like the outlined stars and thought maybe I could do something else with those. You have the option to crop images here in Canva. So all I've done is separate out the individual stars into two images. Some shortcuts that you guys might want to know about is if you hold the Alt key as you drag, you will make copies of the items instead of having to copy and paste individually. Also, using the plus or minus key with either Command or Control, depending on if you're on a Mac or PC, will enlarge or shrink down the canvas as needed. It just makes it easier for you to zoom in real quick, see something, and then zoom back out. I'm just playing around a little bit more here with the items that I think I want to have. And let's go ahead and try manipulating some of the colors here on some of these graphics. Now I really like the red, white, and blue theme, but white is not showing up at all on this transparent or white background. So at the top, you can see that when I click on the individual graphics, the colors that make up that graphic are shown at the top. So for this firework, what I did is I took the white color and added in a softer blue, and that really helped highlight those white areas while maintaining the color scheme. And Canva nicely collects all the colors that are currently in your document and will put them in a color palette there for you on the side to easily select, which is another nice feature. Now, this isn't always the case. Some graphics are like flattened images, but a lot of the ones that you'll find in this clip art area are able to be manipulated by color. So next we're going to try and eliminate the glasses look of these stars, isolate them from the background. And it would have been nice to keep the stripy elements that were in the stars, but by eliminating all the colors except for the outline that's on the stars, I was able to isolate them individually from the other elements, putting them with white and that one color. So that worked out really good. While I was at that, I realized that I could basically make those stars whatever colors I wanted, so I made a third star with the darker blue, then grouped those together and shrunk them down. The way that I just selected those items together and manipulated them as one item was to hold down the Shift key as I selected each star individually, and then once I did that, I had the three selected, held down the Alt key, and made multiple copies as I dragged away from the one that I was copying. So that was the easiest way I found to replicate quickly all of the stars that I had just made and to start to build out what I'm formulating here, which is like a starry confetti. So all I'm doing here is creating larger and smaller sizes in the various colors and creating, like I said, more of a confetti. So it needs to look fairly random, but I don't want anything touching. I'm just moving things around, manipulating things, creating a cluster of stars in various sizes, colors, and positions there in like a random clustery way. Okay, so I'm going to take a little break from that. I'm liking how it looks, and I'm going to manipulate a few more of these items, changing out the colors to see what works best on this sheet. A lot of these images have white elements that really aren't showing through on the white background, so I'm going to tweak their colors, see what I can come up with, incorporate a little bit more of the variances of blue so I can get a little bit more depth in the contrast in those white areas, as well as remain within the color scheme. And you have the ability to actually create a custom color. So here you can see I am building a lighter blue that coordinates well with the rest of the color scheme so that I could make that straw and the ice pop without it getting lost with being a too dark of a blue. And since I've already added in that lighter blue, I think I want to incorporate that into some of the other elements. So I went ahead and added it to the star cluster, changing out a few of the colors of those stars in the blue. So now I'm looking for some other options as far as stars go in the graphics area, and I've already jumped in, found one that I thought might work, but was looking for the proportions to be a little bit closer to the star that you saw there that's outlined. So I laid that down. I'm also looking for some other elements to add in here, including some banners that I saw along the way, as well as that Happy 4th of July element there in text, kind of like a pre-made sticker. I think will be a nice addition. So back to the stars, I'm again looking for the right shape of star that will work with the other stars and just kind of look like a non-outline version of those. I think the one that I found here is pretty close. It's a little bit skinnier than the other ones, but At the size I'm going to use it, I don't think you'll really notice. So I'm just going to use that same process. Again, this graphic is editable as far as the colors. So I'm just pulling in a few of the colors from our color scheme, the blues, the reds, and trying those out in the cluster. So now I'm going to start manipulating the sticker sheet, figuring out what I want multiples of and where I want to put things just so that I can really make use of the real estate on the sheet. So I made a few copies and am now manipulating the star clusters, again, really trying to add some variation. So first thing I did was copy the full grouping that I had made and doubled it and made a cluster from that. And then I doubled it again, and so I have like 4 copies, if you will, of that same cluster. And now what I'm doing is actually moving individual items around just so I can get a little bit more variation in the proximity of the stars and what colors are next to which items so that I can get more of a random feel when I do place it onto the sheet. And obviously I shrunk it all down so that it would be a little bit more like confetti and less of a decor item. And I'm now just moving things around, manipulating them. This process probably would have been a little bit easier had I not had so much white space in and between the groups. It would have been easier for me to use more of the sticker sheet. So just something to keep in mind. What I actually end up doing with these clusters when I create the stickers is cut them up anyway. So it really doesn't matter what shape they're in because I end up custom cutting the shapes that I wanted anyway for my theme on my planner. Okay, so basically this last couple of steps is me here, again, manipulating more of the stickers. I really liked those firecrackers, just changing out the colors. I'm also flipping some of the stickers, as you can see with those firecrackers, to make mirrored images of them, so they're not all the same. And that works out really well. I really wanted to have that as a repeating item, so I will do that same process with both the blue, and then I created the red, so we would have some variations. Back into the graphics area, looking for some more items to add to my sticker sheet, just to, again, add a little bit more pizzazz. I've already deleted a few items that really just weren't working. Some of the graphics don't always have the right feel to match up with other graphics in a similar manner. Some look more maybe hand-drawn, some look more clip arty, watercolor. There's all kinds of variations. So I'm definitely looking for a style of sticker that has the same kind of blocky, hand-drawn feel that you're seeing here with the items I already have on the sheet. So that said, I am, again, manipulating some of the stickers I've already laid down there, or graphics that I've laid down there on the sheet, and decided that I was going to do some multiples here of this other streamer confetti cluster that I pulled in earlier and shrink it down, make again another cluster in a very similar manner, but this one was already created with a grouping of items as part of the one element. So I'm turning it, I'm using the rotation tool, which shows up when you click on the element itself. You'll see a little circle that allows you to rotate. That way I can get some, again, variation on the shape and the position of this one item so it does look more random and not all the same. Another way that you can select multiple items there on the sheet is to click and drag over the items, and that will sort of select whatever's touching your box that you draw around those items. That made it a little bit easier to select multiple things at once. And see, I'm using that quite a bit here, making copies in the same way I did before with the star clusters, holding down the Alt key and making multiples of that design. So now I'm just trying to manipulate these stickers and get them shaped up here on the sheet in a way that I think will make it easier to cut out once I actually print it. I'm kind of thinking about that. I'm also trying to make some room here at the top for some additional fireworks, positioning things where I can fit it in and amongst the other items, shrinking them down if need be, since I don't need a specific size of sticker. But that is something to keep in mind if you are designing your stickers for a specific size, like a box. You can check the size underneath the position button there in the white top bar and check and see if the size will work with what you're trying to fit. And again, we're just going to do the same things, repeating that process, making multiples of the fireworks, changing out the colors a bit on individual ones, resizing them so we have some that are a little bit bigger, smaller, in between, varying those colors, creating custom colors that again go with our color scheme, a little bit of a darker red to make a fully red firework, flipping them horizontally and vertically, rotating them in some instances. Again, just making variations by changing out the items that can be manipulated fairly easily, including color, size, rotation, and flipping or mirroring the image depending on the desired outcome. So here I am again making multiples of this item, another thing I wanted to have repeated on all of the spreads I plan to use these on. So what I'm doing is just creating as many as I can that I think will be a good size and will fit here on the sheet, using up pretty much the rest of the real estate that I can on the page. And we're getting close here. I do want to make sure I have enough room to really cut out most of these items. So I will make a few tweaks here and there to make sure I have enough space. And then I realized that I want to have at least one more quote to add in here, adding some variation on the multiple spreads I plan to use these stickers on. There is a text tool there on the side that has some preset up options for you to start with for your design. So I just looked around and found this one that I kind of liked with the bold blocky line text combined with this smaller but bolded text as well, although I think I want it to be layered in a sense. So going to separate out the items, ungrouping them. They come in grouped because it is a style that they are offering to you, so it makes it a little bit easier if you like exactly how it is, but I'm just going to ungroup them so I can manipulate them in the way that I see fit. Found a font that I liked for the word independence that I felt was bold enough to be layered on top of that blocky text to be readable. And now I'm playing with the color to, again, use the same colors that are in my theme so everything will match up. Also to allow me to customize it and make it my own. So now I'm just playing around with the sizing, creating the ultimate composition of the fonts that I think looks best, shrinking down the text. And now I will group those together and try to make some room here on the sheet to fit them in so I can have that additional quote. So I am going to move some things around. The fireworks here are a little bit awkward, to be honest, as far as their shape. So I think I'm going to do some turning and flipping of these so that I can fit them all in, but then still cut them out and place them right side up. Just trying to, again, make best use of the space I have on the sticker sheet to get the most out of it. Now, at this point, you may want to do another step if you have a cutting machine in order to create your outlines for your stickers. I'm not going to be showing that today. I do not have a cutting machine. All I do when I am done is hand cut out the stickers, usually using a precision cutter, small craft knife, or X-Acto knife. So whatever you have on hand will also work if you are limited as far as your craft supplies. Now, I tend to be pretty frugal, so this has been a really great way to make stickers on the cheap for only the cost of the label sheet and printer ink. Okay, so I think we're pretty close to the final product here. When you're ready to export your final design, you just need to go up to the share button there in the corner and then select PDF print for your option. I'm also going to select flatten PDF because I don't plan to edit this outside of Canva, but if you are, leave this unchecked. And then also you can add crop marks and bleeds if you're doing a specific size sheet that you will need to cut down in the future. So all that's left to do is to hit download, and it will begin the process of downloading to your computer. And that's it, you guys. So super simple, and now you have your sheet all ready to go. Once it's downloaded, you can open that PDF and print it onto your favorite label sheet, and you have your own custom stickers for free. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch, and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Bye!